Bad culture crew. Finding the terrible so you don't have to. Welcome to Bad Culture Crew, the premier source for the terrible. We're so glad you've joined our journey into this week's best and the worst media. Please take a moment to get comfortable. Grab your favorite alcoholic beverage and prepare for some hilarious fucking bad. This is Bad Culture Crew, finding the terrible so you don't have to. Presenting your hosts Steve Nevrilles and Austin Daniels.
Thank you, Wendell. This is the Bad Culture Crew. We do find the terrible so you don't have to. My name is Steve Nevrilles. I'm sitting alongside the man who punched 47 4-year-olds to claim the Pez Egg Challenge world record. Austin Daniels. How you doing, Austin?
I'm fine, but I didn't get any strawberry, which is my favorite flavor of Pez.
That's it. So you decided, you know what? No strawberry. I'm just going to start punching child left and right.
Yeah, and none
As
of
many
the
as I
children,
can.
None of the children had strawberry. They all had cherry. And you know what sucks? It's like whenever you get candy, and cherry is always the most abundant candy. You know what I'm saying?
It's the most sought after as well.
Why? Why?
Because it's the best
everywhere.
flavor.
But you can get cherry anywhere. I want flavors you go
There
after.
are things that you just can't fuck with as far as candy, and it's cherry Starburst, it's cherry jelly beans,
Now-
it's cherry Skittles,
Are you going to sit here and tell me
and
that,
cherry Pez.
You sit here and tell me that you're a cherry guy over a strawberry guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you get a Starburst and you're like, hey, I got this pink and the red, and
which one am I going to eat first?
Which one are you going to eat?
I'm going to eat the red one first.
That's so.
That's what I'm going to eat.
That's why.
And then I can let the pink one wash over the flavor. Give it that double flavor. It's like strawberry
terrible.
cherry.
This is just terrible.
It's great.
Pink is better.
If you don't know what we're talking about, up in
what are we
Connecticut,
talking about? My hometown.
Up in
My home
Austin's
state, rather.
hometown
Home
of
state.
Connecticut. Hometown of Connecticut.
Yeah, I live in the town. Well, Connecticut's the
town
size
of
of a lot of
Connecticut.
A lot of Connecticut's so small. It's the size of most towns.
But everybody knows that the Pez headquarters, the Pez Candy headquarters, is in Connecticut, and every year, third year now, this is the third annual Easter egg hunt, where thousands of people came to the Pez headquarters and basically mauled over children in search of Easter eggs filled with Pez candy.
Now, I've got some questions about this because the story broke this morning. It happened yesterday, which was Easter.
We're recording this on a Monday, so...
Yeah, okay. So this happened this past Sunday. Easter, Jesus is risen, all that stuff happened, okay?
It's all good.
Eggs, Peeps, Easter Bunny. And then a bunch of people punching each other over Pez. Now, my question was was Pez the only motivation? Because it's like, there wasn't alcohol involved. They've been doing this for
that we know
years.
of.
It seemed like just any other Easter egg hunt that you would have anywhere, and the company's just trying to be nice to kids, to the children.
So we're just wondering, what is it about Pez candy that makes it so desirable?
See, when you first told me this, I thought the Pez dispensers were involved. So I thought that maybe there was
it's not even the dispensers. It's just the candy.
Yeah, which is not the top notch of candy. You get the Pez for the enjoyment of loading it haphazardly into the weird Pez loader thing, okay, the dispenser. And if you get a cool one, that's fun. And then you pop it, and then you eat it. And that's the most fun of Pez. Pez isn't like this great candy. It's the experience of Pez.
But here we are.
But you're not even getting the experience.
Giving 5-year-olds bloody noses just to get a couple of free pieces of Pez candy for what I presume is your entire Pez dispenser collection.
Yeah.
Because you've got to have a vast amount of dispensers to fill if you were this adamant about getting free Pez candy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know. Didn't seem worth it.
It seems worth it to me. But
I did get my strawberry Pez.
I've punched kids for less.
Yeah.
I certainly have.
I feel like there is this weird culture of kids getting you ever go to a ball game or something, or you ever see this on TV where you see a parent shoving a kid over to catch a foul ball?
Oh yeah, I've seen them physically steal them from the kid. They'll grab the ball, push the kid away, and then pull back and take it from them.
This happened to me one time. I'll tell you
Really?
this. I was 11 or 12 years old, and we went to this AA baseball game. Okay, and it was all this you'd sit there, and the first base coach fielded a ground ball and saw me with my glove, and
Great.
he pointed at me and he goes to toss it, and in front of me, we knew these people, was the doctor of the small town. Okay. He has his glove. He's like 30 years older than me, puts his hand up in the air and totally steals it away from me. Everybody started booing around. And
Dude, he's a champion.
Like, what
I applaud that man.
I was like, what?
He's teaching you a life lesson, and that's, kid, life's not fair. And now we are literally taking candy from babies.
Yeah, we are.
And that's what's happening out in the world.
Somebody drive away and run somebody over.
Somebody like pulled a heist almost and stole eggs out of a small child's basket, jumped into a moving vehicle, and that vehicle hit a person.
Oh, jeez, man.
And we're talking about Pez. I want to be clear. This is the small little rectangular candy that you get at the checkout of the grocery store for 50 cents. That's what we're talking about.
It's not a big deal candy.
So
fine.
It's exciting.
I like
Pez.
Pez.
So it was great.
I wouldn't punch anybody over it.
You probably did. You would go back home
Lots
and
of
do
them.
that. But anyway,
Lots of them.
We got a show to do.
Oh, I know we do a show. We do it every week. I'm very well aware of that.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
What do we got this week? Austin is going to talk about 8.5 in the therapy session.
That's just a number. I didn't actually do work.
I just felt like that was an appropriate number to put on the... Wendell, what the fuck is this? It's just a number.
Yeah, Wendell.
Man, this guy sucks.
This guy is awful.
He's just not doing a
But
great
it is my
job.
responsibility. I did tell him 8.5. But it would have probably looked better if he actually wrote it like out.
8.5
He
as
just typed it
as
in.
the words.
He's
Yeah.
very, he's very trendy. He's a millennial, Wendell. He trends everything. Keeps everything short and snappy.
Last month, Austin challenged me to create Bad Culture Holiday with the inauguration of the first, our inaugural year is coming up. The first anniversary of the Bad Culture Crew.
How about that?
So I have created a holiday that everybody will sure to be enjoying this coming May 7th.
Ooh.
And that is in
wow.
the challenge.
Holy hell. May
I
7th.
will also be doing Pick a Side this week. This is the question on everybody's mind. Of course, Batman versus Superman came out in theaters this past Friday. So our Pick a Side, very simply put, who is the better superhero, Batman or Superman, in the Pick a Side?
I know my favorite one. Already.
Austin, he's going to make it weird with a movie I haven't heard about in about 15 years. Freddy Got Fingered.
Freddy Got Fingered. You may have heard this story already, but Freddy Got Fingered is involved in the Make It Weird story. We all know that movie. It's a bad movie.
I'm sure that any story involving Freddy Got Fingered is weird.
Now, it could also mean that somebody named Fred was sexually harassed, and it could be a really serious story. Well, you have to tune in.
It's possible. I mean, we may be we may not be talking about the same Freddy Got Fingered story that you are familiar with.
We're talking about the movie. It's fine.
Probably.
That's what we're talking about.
And then, of course, Austin is going to close the show. Hamburgers in the last word.
Hamburgers. That's
all I've got here. Hamburgers.
You know how I love doing talking about in my last words about food and stuff like that.
I'm familiar. Yes, I know.
So we're going to talk about hamburgers. I may or may not have some hamburgers here. Who knows? I mean, it could be anything. Could be about cooking hamburgers. Could be about smelling hamburgers. Could be about throwing hamburgers and
sticking hamburgers up your butt.
Yeah. Could be about fingering hamburgers. Could be about tweeting about hamburgers. It's about hamburgers. Well, we're going to talk about it in the last word.
Wow. But before we do all of that, it's time for the Bad Culture Commentary.
Culture Commentary.
Holy Toledo, Batman. It's time once again for the fanboys of the internet to bring their collective superior egos together and scrutinize in great length the latest effort in a long line of action to down the beloved and scorned film. Let me start over because I have to do the music. Holy Toledo, Batman. It's time once again for the fanboys of the internet to bring their collective superior egos together and scrutinize the great length, the latest effort in a long line of actors to don the beloved and revered Batsuit. This week, the long-awaited, highly anticipated, and critically scorned film Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice crashed into theaters. And despite panning negative reviews of the film, it has managed to garner $170 million at the box office its opening weekend. Even though it appears to be on its way to financial success, there is one person involved with the production that seems to be more than disappointed with all the bad criticism. I'm talking, of course, about Bruce Wayne himself, Ben Affleck. In case you missed it last week, Ben Affleck and Harvey Cavill sat down with Yahoo to promote the film. In an interview, asked them a very tough question regarding their thoughts about all the displeasing things critics had to say regarding the picture. As Henry Cavill responded with an answer that seemed pretty well thought out, as if he knew the question would come up at some point, poor Ben just sits alongside him, looking defeated. It's almost as if he's 7 years old again and just found out that Santa Claus isn't real, or if somebody broke the news to him that he's not really Batman.
What?
One intelligent internet user took the clip, removed the audio of the interview, replaced it with Simon & Garfunkel's The Sound of Silence, while adding some slow camera pushes into Ben's miserable demeanor. The look of defeat seems to go on forever, and the audio of the interview comes back in just in time for us to hear the interviewer ask Ben for his thoughts on the question, to which he simply replies, "I agree." The internet seems to be having an outright gut-busting laugh at the glaring look of disappointment Ben exudes for the duration of the interview. Everyone is assuming he feels terrible for ruining another superhero for all of us who waited so patiently to see the Man of Steel and the Caped Crusader slug it out on the big screen. I mean, we all remember what became of 2003's Daredevil, but after watching the clip several times, I'm not so sure that's what's on his mind. You have to put down the judgmental gavel for a second and put yourself in Ben's shoes. Do you really think this is the first time he's had to face a barrage of negative reviews for a film? This, Ben Affleck, the same guy that was in Geely, Jersey Girl, Paycheck, Man About Town, Surviving Christmas, Reindeer Games, Forces of Nature, Smokin' Aces, and Bounce? You think he'd be so down about a couple of ill-fated pun reviews like Dawn of Boredom and Batman vs. Superman, Nothing Super, from people he could give a fuck about? No way. This is Academy Award-winning, Golden Globe-winning Ben Affleck we're talking about. Who knows what the guy could be thinking during this interview? My guess is he was thinking, wow, I shouldn't have had that Chipotle for lunch. I'm about to blow a chocolate rocket through the back of my pants. And we've all been there before, fearing at any moment that the turd that we're so desperately trying to hold back might come tunnel surfing out at any moment. And what would you do in that situation? You go to a safe place, right? You think about anything and everything to take your mind off the fact that in another minute or so, you're going to be shitting your pants. You'd answer any question as quickly as possible to get away. I'm sure whatever Harvey Cavill said summed up pretty perfectly, leaving Ben with only 2 words left within his capacity to say before unholy butt dust came spewing out the back of him. I agree. But in all seriousness, what do you take so much pleasure in tearing these guys down? Did anyone out there go into the movie and at their very best a hairline of a premise that only super nerds would even consider film-worthy? For God's sake, even David S. Goyer, co-writer of Batman vs. Superman, was quoted back in 2005 saying, "Batman vs. Superman is where you go when you admit to yourself that you've exhausted all possibilities. It's somewhat of an admission that the franchise is on its last gasp." Even the fucking writer didn't have much hope for this project 10 years ago. Take the movie for what it is, an adrenaline junkie's wet dream full of familiar faces joining together from time to time in a darker, more adult-themed superhero movie. Nothing more. Look, if Ben Affleck were that upset about what he thought critics felt about this movie, he would never even sign on in the first place. It seems that he's had a knack for taking things in stride, knowing when something is going to work and when it's simply going to fail. He's not an idiot. After all, I'll bet he's got more Oscars and Golden Globes than you and all of your fanboy friends combined. And that's my bad culture commentary.
So who would have thought Ben Affleck would get a bigger chance at doing some DC stuff over Kevin Smith? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's kind of weird because
it's
really Kevin
weird.
Smith kind of really helped him out in the early days.
Yeah, and that
in the weird like little bit parts that he gave Ben Affleck. Mallrats was one that I think of where he played the fashionable male guy, the big fucking doofus.
Now, Argo was his first Oscar-winning movie, right? His big Oscar deal, right?
I feel like Gone Baby Gone was.
Okay.
I think he won Best Director for that.
Okay. But and he won Best Picture for Argo, right? In the whole thing, right?
He did.
So he comes off of this, and I feel like maybe now, his expectations for stuff are a little higher. I mean, and
So you think that he was sitting there thinking, oh my God, what have I done? Like that's what you think.
I think the critical reviews mean more to him now than they did before, and I think he feels in his own responsibility that it needs to be better. So I'm interested.
Well, you know what?
I haven't seen the movie. I'll have to.
I haven't
don't
seen
know
it either.
yet.
But even when the interview asks both of them the question, have you seen any of the negative reviews that are out there? Ben Affleck flat out says, "Yeah, I don't read reviews."
Yeah,
That's what he said.
he may not. I don't know.
You know what? If I was
Doesn't matter.
if
He
I
made a
was in
ton of
that
money.
business and
I wouldn't read reviews.
I wouldn't read reviews either because all it's going to do is give you that look that he had on his face.
Because the only comparison, I mean, he made a lot of good points because he did make a lot of bad movies, Reindeer Games and Geely most notably. But did he really make Geely going, yeah, this is going to be a good movie? Like, I mean, come on.
Well, that's what I'm saying about all the movies that I mentioned. I was like, did he go into those going, you know what? This is what's going to win me an Academy Award.
Now, but going into Batman v Superman, did he go, okay, this will be fine. It's not going to win him an Academy Award. And I don't think anybody felt that that was the direction the film was going. But does the film be this atrocious? I don't know. I have to see it. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews, and critically it's bad.
Yeah.
Although the fans like it, I guess, it seems.
Yeah, but you know what? I've heard some fans, like some personal friends that have seen it, that have legitimately said, yeah, this isn't good.
I'm interested now.
It's all, you know what I mean? It's all personal perspective. I wasn't a big fan of Man of Steel.
Yeah, we just watched it over the weekend just to get back in the feel. And I got to tell you, after watching that movie and thinking about it all weekend, I'm not excited about Batman v Superman.
This might not be great. And I've been a skeptic of just the overall plot of the movie from day one. And I know you keep like trying to bring me back. And you're like, well, this is what it's really
What's wrong about. That's not what's wrong.
That's
about
what
the
I
picture.
feel is wrong.
No,
with
what's
it,
wrong about
with the
picture.
premise?
The premise is fine because it's not just about Batman fighting Superman. It's not, which we'll get into later, but it's also about him being at odds with him, and they have different visions for stuff. They both almost like are too powerful. They know they can hurt people, but they don't, and they have different outlooks on how society should be, which is interesting. That's an interesting thing to play off of, and that's what causes all the friction with the Justice League.
And you don't think that Ben Affleck brought his absolute best to that storyline?
I don't know. I'll have to see. But then again, how much of it is in his control? I mean, is this a Zack Snyder fuck up? Could be.
I don't know. I consider that about. I consider Man of Steel a Zack Snyder fuck up.
I do too. Now I do. I really don't think it's a good movie.
There are other people that
not
are
a
just,
good movie
that stand by it, that like it.
I don't know why.
It's great.
The difference is that there's no, and this is just Man of Steel. There's no character development. I don't care about it. They introduced more characters in this one. Will the characters be developed? Will I care about Wonder Woman? Will I care about Lex Luthor? Will I care about Batman? Will I care about these characters?
Right. And
I don't know.
And
because I didn't care about him in Man of Steel.
At a runtime of 2.5 hours, there's really no excuse.
Oh, yeah.
Why there wouldn't be good character development.
So,
what are you doing with all that screen time?
I will say this going forward, and this is beyond the point. I'm going to go see Suicide Squad after this. If that movie doesn't do it, if that movie gets bad reviews like this, DC Universe is over. I don't care about it, and I think most people would be with me. And
yeah, I'm kind of like,
because I like Ben Affleck.
I'm kind of teetering like right now in the DC universe, and I haven't even seen this yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a chance this year. If they don't, because Suicide Squad looks like it has characters in it, which are interesting. They're interesting. Yep. They're more interesting than fucking Superman. We'll have to see. But is he sad? Maybe.
Yeah. I just don't think that he's sad about this. You know,
what do you think he's sad about? That he was married to Jennifer Lopez?
To Jennifer Garner.
Well, why would you be sad about that? Oh, Jennifer Garner?
He was married to Garner.
That's right.
Yeah. Too many Jennifers in his past.
He was with J-Lo, and that didn't work out, which is too bad because she has a nice booty. But maybe, you know what he did? He saw The Boy Next Door and was like, man,
that could have been me. Could have been me.
You know? It's like, she like that? Maybe
that's what I mean. There's so many possibilities. He completely checked out of that interview. He was checked out from the start.
What do you want to hear after you go premiere a movie? Hey, this movie sucks.
What do you have to say about it? Well, Henry Cavill had a lot to say about it.
Well, you see, I'm British, and I only do Superman and British stuff, and I look good with my shirt off.
Was the video funny? Yes.
It's a great video. I'm glad.
Do I think that he was sad about all the negative reviews? Probably not. He could give a fuck.
Maybe. Well, you know, maybe deep down, maybe it's something they say.
What do you think? Get on Twitter. Tweet to us at Bad Culture Crew. Is Ben Affleck sad about all the negative reviews? Remember what I said. Think about all the other shitty movies that he's been in his career. Do you really think that a couple of bad reviews are really making him look this miserable? I don't know. But we have to move on.
We do have to move on. It's time for the therapy sesh.
Therapy session.
As I said, Wendell did such a bad job communicating what the hell we're talking about in the therapy
This is
session.
really terrible. I have no idea what 8.5 means.
Well, you think about a lot of robots, they probably speak in Wendell.
They speak in binary.
Right. So they're like 11011. Did I just swear at you? Was that offensive? Why doesn't Wendell?
Speaking of checking out, this guy is already fucking checked out.
Let me talk. Well, hold on. Let me talk about Wendell for a second. Should Wendell go after that girl that was really racist and stuff like that? That bot. He might be a good fit for him.
He might like her.
Because Wendell's a huge racist. Thinks Obama's a monkey.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick. Kind of a dick.
Ted Cruz is like a terrorist or something. Yeah. That's right. You should go for her.
Do we have
Wendell. All right, so
what
here's
do
the
we got
therapy
here?
session. All right. This is from, where's this from? Dear Prudence. Steve's favorite
Dear
website.
Prudence,
You like that.
yes.
I've been with my boyfriend for about 6 months. He's been wonderful with my 4-year-old son, who has started calling him daddy. Oh, that's
Big,
good.
long commitment there.
Okay, 6 months daddy already. All right.
Perfect.
And we recently started living together.
Excellent. That was perfect timing. 6 months.
I thought it was the solid 7. Was
it's
that me?
supposed to be the solid 7.
Yeah, that's
but
my thing. Okay.
She's already negating that rule.
All right. The problem is he just told me he considers me only an 8.5 on the hotness scale and doesn't think our sex life is the best he's ever had, but he's happy to settle based on the whole package. So that's where the 8.5 came from.
Okay. Now this is starting to make sense.
Sorry, Wendell.
Thanks, Wendell.
I think we're very well matched hotness-wise, but I don't compare him to other men in that way. I've also tried to improve our sex life without much luck. My question is, how should I feel about his revelation? Do I deserve more from a partner in terms of feeling sexy and loved, or should I stick with it for the sake of my son? Steve, what should we do about
Now look,
this woman here?
I like how she says, I think we're well matched hotness-wise.
So he's an 8.5.
So he's an 8.5? Is that what she's trying to convey
Well, that's
to us?
offensive. She just called him out as a big 8.5 in front of millions of people.
Yeah, and she's
And
saying that
that's just not
she's
nice.
sort of offended that she's an 8.5, yet she's in return just calling him
solid B.
8.5.
That's
You
a
know what I
solid B.
mean?
That's a well passing grade. I wish I was an 8.5 doubled over.
So let's
I'm barely a 4.
let's go back to the beginning. Let's talk
Sure.
about some of the most important parts of this
situation.
story. Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, I have a boyfriend, for about 6 months.
6 months.
So have
getting
they
serious.
Have they known each other for 6 months, or have they just been dating for
Just
6
dating
months?
for 6 months, it says.
Okay, so he's already a great father to the 4-year-old. So he's already been in the son's life since the second day that they were dating, which in anybody's situation that has children,
It's always a terrible
where the
idea.
other party doesn't, you know that the best thing to do is just introduce your child to a random stranger as soon as possible.
Yeah, and make sure the child identifies this guy that you've been seeing for 6
his
months
dad.
as the father.
Because once he disappears, I wonder what he considers the kid. Like, is the kid like a not on a hotness scale, because that would be creepy, but
That would be,
just like on a kid scale. Like, hey, your kid is like he's like a 6 as far as funness. You know,
Maybe.
I could see him. I could see him. He
should
must
be more
gauge
honest about
everything
that.
on a 1 to 10 scale.
He must be. He sits down and has meals. This was a 2.
Let me tell you,
what the
bitch,
fuck?
this dinner was a 5.2. Okay, French fries were a little cold.
Incorporate that in our life,
Yeah, I would like to do that, but it's only a matter of time before he starts doing that with everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think it stops here. I think this is just the start of it. He feels most comfortable talking about her looks because I'm sure it's something that has
Why
been
else
brought
would
up.
you date somebody for their personality
Are you
and their
kidding
kindness?
me?
Fuck
Do people have personalities?
that. No.
When did that? Who dates somebody for their fucking personality?
This bitch should just accept it because 8.5 is pretty great.
She's not going to get anybody to call her anything better than that.
Yeah, I mean-
if a guy has only been with her for 6 months, has accepted this bastard of a child of hers, and he's calling her an 8.5, well, guess what? The older she gets, it's only going to go down.
Yeah, you're going to be at 8.4.
Guess what?
Tick down.
Guess what? 6 months later, the next guy you're dating, he's going to be like, yeah, you're a solid 7.
he's
But you know
gonna say
what?
it.
6 months later, now you're a 6.
Now, the best thing to do, ask the question on the first date when you're eating other guys. Now, the thing is, when the guys get older, they get hotter. You know that. You've heard
Yeah,
that one too. I mean, you're getting hot.
everybody knows that as women age, they become less attractive, and as men age, they start to look better. That's just that's a fact of science.
Science.
That's science.
Can't argue with it.
That's science and numbers. Okay, you just can't argue with that.
Me and Steve may be 3s right now, but bet you by the end of the year, 3.2.
Just I'll slowly keep I'll slowly keep climbing the tiers, while she cries many more tears. I don't know. I think that she needs to just accept it. She is where she is because she probably has very low self-esteem. And for the fact that
Ooh.
somebody called her at 8.5, she was like, oh my God, that is the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me.
Now, what if she got a 10? She'd be like, why am I not 11? That
she
shit.
could be
Where
one of
she
those.
gets extra credit.
But I feel like based on this, she's thinking, wow, 8.5. That's the hottest anybody's ever called me. I'm sticking this out.
And he's an 8.5. So that's what they say. You date somebody you're with hotness.
But I don't know if she's doing that just to be nice.
Maybe.
It's possible
Maybe
that
she doesn't seem she cares that much, which is kind of
yeah, she's just like, what? How do you gauge it? Like, what am I looking at? Like,
looks.
yeah, I know.
Jawline.
Is that what she's looking at? That's what I mean. Specific features. What is she looking at?
How his junk looks like in jeans. His butt when he bends down.
I like to stare at the junk, like the outline of the
yes,
junk.
the lines.
You know.
My serious answer is always a 10 or never even say anything. Just be like,
You
babe,
don't say anything. You just walk away. You're like,
babe.
hey, how do you think I look tonight? I just go.
You just be like,
I just walk away.
oh, babe, you know you look good.
Another big question or concern is
Sure.
how does something like this even come up?
That's what the actual person. That's what Prudence wrote.
How does this come up?
Prudence writes, I'm trying to imagine how this came up in conversation. Darling, I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I'm so happy to be able to tell you. You're solid 8.5 out of 10. Very nearly a 9. I understand if you want to take a minute to call your parents. Also, I've had better sex in the past. I won't bother you with the details, but it's been better. I'm not going to dump you over it. It's definitely good enough for me. Anyhow, an 8.5, a solid 8.5. That's probably how it happened.
You know, and that's amazing. And I applaud that answer. I think that's the best answer.
It's like the Good Enough for Now song by Weird Al. You know,
yeah,
that's what this is.
He's playing the Good Enough for Now game.
Anyways, do you guys have any advice about what to do if you got ranked an 8.5 or if you're going to rank somebody on a 1 point to 10 scale?
Yeah, really, seriously, if you're going to give somebody shit over an 8.5, get the fuck over yourself. Really?
Yeah.
What do you think you deserve a 10?
Yeah.
Why? Just because you're you?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I deserve
Jesus
a 10.
is a 10 in my heart.
Whatever.
You know who's also a 10?
Who?
The Easter Bunny. Pez is a 10.
I love it.
Pez is a 10. Bad Culture Crew, totally a 3.
Yeah, well, it's actually...
Culmination.
It's declining as the minutes tick away on the clock here.
Oh, boy.
But anyway, hey, tell us what you think, what you would do in that situation. Somebody's calling you an 8.5. Go to Bad Culture
so
Crew
dumb.
on Twitter. I am at Bad Culture Steve on Twitter. Tell me what you would think. Austin at AustinDNLS. We're moving on. Austin asked me last month, hey, you know what would be great? Bad Culture Crew's first anniversary is coming up, and we don't have a way to celebrate. There's really nothing going on. There's no great holiday in the month of May. But guess what? May 7th, get your ass ready because we've got a Bad Culture holiday. It's the challenge.
Challenge.
All right, people.
Now, I will say this. There's 3 holidays in the month of May that are important.
Go for it.
There is... No, wait, there's 2.
Irrelevant.
Cinco de Mayo.
Irrelevant.
Oh, that's 3. Cinco de Mayo.
Irrelevant.
May 4th, which is Star Wars Day.
Okay, that I'll give you.
And Cinco de Cuatro, which is also May 4th, which is the Arrested Development holiday. And
Oh, these are all made up. Just like this one.
Cinco de Mayo, totally made up.
Cinco de Mayo is not a real holiday.
That's what Trump told me, I think. He's
Yeah.
like, Cinco de Mayo? What is that even? Vote
Yeah.
Trump. Make America great again.
You know what? I'm going to make America great again right now because last month Austin asked me, hey, you know what would be a great idea?
Yeah.
You're great at making up holidays. Why don't you give us a holiday to celebrate for Bad Culture
You're
Crew?
great at it? Like, you do this all the time?
I do this on the regular.
Okay.
I do this on the reg. I do this all the time.
Thanks, 20-teen
So,
Steve.
without further ado, I present to you the Bad Culture Crew holiday. Every year in November and December, people gather with their families and friends for the most joyous time of the year. People eat large feasts, exchange consumer goods, and unwillingly send countless holiday cards. It seems like this time of year is so overcrowded with holidays, it leaves the entire rest of the year at a loss. We sit around just waiting for this time of year that it's acceptable to get belligerently drunk around the people that we care about and point out all the things that we hate about them before humbly apologizing for our behavior the next year. It's the time of year when the New Year's resolution is to be a better person. You haven't really thought about that since February, and you were well on your way to securing a sweaty seat in Hell's Eternal Tavern of Damnation, where the only thing on draft is Bud Light, and all the drafts cost $16.50. What is truly missing is a midway point to all of the berserk end of the year holidays. Something in the middle of the year that lets you get some sort of first half of the year nonsense off your chest, so it doesn't all come pouring out at once in a chaotic blast at the end. Wouldn't it be great if you only had to berate your friends at the end of the year for how shitty they are, just based on the last 6 months instead of the last 12? Well, that's why it's my distinct pleasure to announce the Bad Culture Crew holiday celebrated on May 7th, Drunksgiving.
Drunksgiving. Thank you.
So we're so confused, Steve. What is Drunksgiving? I'm so glad you asked.
Well, who asked?
Drunksgiving is a special 2-day celebration that gives you the opportunity to take all the negativity experienced at Thanksgiving and dilute it to a midway point of the year to help you cope with all the stress of saving all that hatred up for the end of the year. Think of it as sort of like a colander. It strains out all the bad vibes that you've been feeling for the first half of the year and gives you a clean slate to muddle up again before the end of the year. So how do we celebrate this joyous occasion? It's quite simple.
Okay.
The night before Drunksgiving is where most of the action takes place. We call this night Dismiss Eve, where you gather everybody you normally celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas with and diss each other about everything that they've done wrong so far in the year. It could be a poor life decision, someone dating an individual you hate, or just serve up some haterade to someone who does something better than you and it makes you jealous. Whatever it may be, just be sure that there's plenty of booze to go around to make sure that nobody holds back his or her true feelings. But Steve, what do we do? How do we dress on such an occasion?
Can you dress in blue and green or whatever you want?
Well, this holiday is the opportunity for you to show your true colors and individuality. Wear something that depicts your favorite holiday of the year. Who knows? Maybe somebody will have a problem with it and make fun of you for it. I would recommend wearing something that you don't mind ruining. You never know when there's a possibility of flying beer, blood, or vomit.
What?
The following day is the actual holiday of Dranksgiving. This is where everyone will apologize and pretend that they didn't mean what they said and present an offering of peace to everyone in attendance. This peace offering should be the best new beer that you've had so far throughout the year and you'd like to share with your loved ones. Don't be an asshole and bring any of that swill shit like Miller Lite or Natty Ice. The group does have reasonable cause to get physical with you and continue the bashings of Dismiss Eve with you should you decide to be that big of a dick. Everyone should try to sample each other's offerings and make a very strongly worded opinion about their personal taste and preference. The end of the evening should wrap up with the lowest rated Rotten Tomatoes movie of the year so far to keep the spirit of the terrible alive throughout the entire celebration. Tell your friends and family to be ready. May 7th is just around the corner, and there is so much to prepare before Dismiss Eve is upon us.
Okay, so let me get this straight about this. The traditions, Drunksgiving, we got Dismiss Eve on the 7th.
Yep.
Now, let me ask you this.
Yes.
So so the actual holiday is on the 7th, which is a Saturday.
Correct.
Now, is this going to be a thing in the fewer years? Is it going to be like the first Saturday in May of every month? You know, just so people can celebrate.
I mean, it could be. If you have a job that allows you to celebrate it on a Saturday, fine.
That's the official, and then we move on. Okay.
But the official day.
Okay. So
Is
Dismiss Eve.
Dismiss Eve is the 6th. Dranksgiving is the 7th.
So Dismiss Eve, you get into a shitty shirt that's holiday themed of any holiday.
Correct.
You go to your friend's house. You make enemies with your friends while drinking.
But you already know that you guys hate each other for so many reasons.
Right, because we all hang out, we're friends, we don't like each other very much, but we hate each other less than we hate other people. I think that's why.
Correct.
So we
and you know what? That's just how the human race works.
You are a despicable person, but, you know, I could do worse. You know,
you could do a lot worse than me.
Absolutely. I mean, you know,
you're not friends with any of those people that were punching kids at the fucking Pez festival.
I know. You know, I might have more in common with him, but who knows?
Probably do.
So you get together, Dismiss Eve, and you know, my suggestion probably you might want to get really drunk so you don't remember a lot of this stuff they're saying.
That's the point. That's how Thanksgiving is, but now we're doing it twice a year so that you don't bring up shit that you've been holding on to since like February, and you're like, man, I can't wait till Thanksgiving so I can get blackout drunk and tell this guy what a fucking dick he is. Now you can do it in the middle of the year. And then you can focus on shit that they did wrong from June on.
Now, how funny can I be? So it's like kind of the halfway point getting into Festivus. This reminds me of the airing of grievances.
Airing of grievances, in a way, yes.
So then, any delicacies, any food that you would recommend for Dismiss Eve to kick off Dismiss Eve? Any food?
Yeah, Snyder of Hanover butter snaps.
Fantastic. Whatever you
want. Those are great pretzels. They go great. Pretzels. They're the best with Yingling.
Okay. So you get there, you drink, and then everybody falls asleep wherever on the floor.
Sure.
You wake up the next morning. You're like, wow, man, bro, I'm sorry. You're still my friend. We'll
Everybody's
hug it out.
apologizing. Everybody's doing what they do the day after Thanksgiving, where they're like, "I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean that."
We're gonna focus. We're gonna work on our goals together. We're gonna tackle this year. 2016 is
Right.
ours.
Here, let me. Here's a peace offering.
So then, well, wait. Do you bring the peace offering before Christmas Eve just to have on the standby?
Yeah, that's the stuff that sits like in the fridge that nobody's allowed to touch.
Gotcha,
It all goes into like a box.
Okay.
You take these like little.
But that's
the-
like secret.
Yes.
Secret. Okay, we can't. Okay, so
It
you
goes
bring
in a
the
box
shit-
and it
should
goes
be
in the
fr-
back of the
so
fridge.
now you're just like hungover, casually enjoying the beer, and then whatever is the lowest ranked movie this year, which could either be what is it, Gods of Egypt or Superman versus Batman.
Yes.
Is this critically?
You sit and watch these movies together
Okay.
to just keep the spirit of the terrible intact.
I like that. That's a good way to do it. Now, is there any food? You probably should order a pizza or something.
No, Snyder of Hanover butter snaps works just well
For both?
for 2 days.
For both?
I think it's great for Christmas Eve, and I think it's great as a dinner item. Maybe you can have some dip out for the actual
Should you
dinner.
dress a little differently? I mean, should you go out for a nice hearty meal
No,
afterwards?
you should probably just wear the same shitty shirt for the 2 days.
Okay, so walk a shame it, you know?
Yeah, but you guys aren't going anywhere.
Okay.
You know,
So
this is like an
it's a
enclosed-
marathon.
It is sort of like a marathon.
an intimate marathon of terrible.
Yeah, you could say that, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have to record some of this stuff, get it up on the site.
And so there you have it, the Bad Culture Crew holiday.
Please, hopefully you have friends that you hate and get on there. Celebrate Drunksgiving?
Celebrate. It's called Dranksgiving.
Dranksgiving.
Yes.
Like T-Pain,
Yes.
who buys you a drink.
So, I mean, you know, in spirit of Thanksgiving, it's just Dranksgiving.
We also like T-Pain. He's cool.
there you go.
He got grills. He got the dreads. Oh, boy.
Will you be celebrating Dranksgiving with us? Get on Twitter.
We
Tell
will.
us about it.
Here at the Bad Culture Crew studio, we
It's
will.
going to be great.
Hopefully we don't destroy too much equipment.
Austin has a challenge coming up next month, and I've got it here.
Oh, my word.
I've got it here for him.
Let me get my pencil and paper out.
So a few days ago, I was talking to Austin
Oh,
about a new horror movie, part of a franchise that's coming out later in. Actually, it just starts filming. If you're familiar with the Children of the Corn, the challenge has nothing to do with that. But this is just how the conversation started. New Children of the Corn movie coming out next year, and he was asking me, "Well, how many installments are in the franchise?" And I'm like, "Well, there's about 10 now." Just explaining the vastness of how large some horror franchises are. Now, Austin's not a big horror fan. He doesn't watch a lot of horror movies. But I thought, since I will not have the ability to give him this challenge next month because it will be my turn again, Friday the 13th is coming up in May, just so everybody is aware. And that's one of my favorite holidays. It appears like a couple times a year. And I watch my favorite Friday the 13th movie.
so there's a Friday the 13th in May.
There is a Friday the 13th coming up in May. Okay. So I'm going to reach into my bag here.
Oh.
And what I have here
Oh,
for
my.
Austin is the complete
Woo.
Friday the 13th collection.
Show this.
It's
Show this
all
in there.
11 movies
There you go. Okay.
on Blu-ray.
All right. Wow.
Including Friday the 13th 3 in 3D with the blue and red glasses.
Oh, that's
that is
tacky. I love
actually
it.
which is actually really funny.
All right.
So
Let's take this. Let's put it in the center here.
you can
Let's
go
see
ahead
here,
and
right here.
take that there.
I'm going to unbox it. See, this is what you do on the internet. You do unboxings, and then you make a ton of money.
Now, obviously, I've watched
Ooh,
this.
this is cool.
I've watched each disc like 4 or 5 times.
This packaging, I must say, hold on. We're going to unbox this a little bit.
Packaging's
This
really
packaging
nice.
is brilliant. Look at this packaging. Look at this. You
That's
get
great
this little
stuff.
book. You get this thing. I'm afraid to
There's
burn
your
it.
there's your 3D glasses. Look at those bad boys. It's wonderful.
Everything's in 3D now. This is cool. Okay.
It's just everything is in blue and red.
Now we
And then you have this book of like concept art
my.
and all kinds of very cool things about
this
the
is
franchise. I have my Camp Crystal Lake patch in there that I haven't sewn onto my military jacket
wow,
yet.
this is a.
You know,
When did you get this? This is a fantastic.
I got it a
collection.
couple years ago.
This is a fantastic collection. They
It's all
really
very good
rewarded
stuff.
you. And you get this
So
other one for your
anyway,
friend?
basically the way that the challenge is going to work is Austin's going to watch all 11 Friday the 13th films. That includes the reboot from 2009. I'm not making him watch Freddy vs. Jason, which is included in the box set, but I don't really consider that part of the franchise because it has nothing to do with the story. So he's going to watch the 11 films that are involved in the series, and he's going to come back with which one is his favorite, why it's his favorite, and thoughts on what he thinks makes the series so appealing that we keep coming back.
Okay.
And,
Now they're done with this series. There's no more. There's not going to be any more.
Oh, it will be coming back.
There's plans
Oh, yes.
for more. What are they going to make?
Yes.
2 more?
I don't know how many more they're going to make, but I do know that there's another one coming out next year. And we know that the Kickstarter video game for the next-gen consoles...
That looks cool.
...has been funded. They're making it. It looks great.
That does look cool.
So there's a lot of great Friday the 13th stuff coming out this year. But we are going to be celebrating Friday the 13th this May because that's what I do. I love to sit and watch my favorite Friday the 13th movie, which for me is Friday the 13th Part 7, Jason Takes Manhattan. It's just amazing.
That title is ridiculous.
You have to see it. If you haven't, it's fucking 20 years old now. So
sounds like a Beavis and Butthead
God's
title.
sake, you probably should have seen it by now. But anyway, that's going to be Austin's challenge for next month.
That sounds fun. I'm looking forward to
It'll be
it.
a great time.
It gives us more fodder to talk about. I guess we'll go closer as friends.
Yeah, maybe.
God damn it.
Anyway, we have a couple more segments to go here.
We do.
It's time to continue the talk of the debate of Batman versus Superman. We're going to pick a side.
Pick a side.
I feel like Wendell is just getting drunker as the show goes on.
Well, so are you.
That wasn't even English. It's a
Is he having, what do we got? Miller Lights?
Miller High Lifes, the
Miller High Life?
the swill of my life.
That's for Bad Culture Crew employees for some reason.
Yeah, Wendell is just a fucking intern. All right.
How old are you, Wendell? All right, you're of age.
Yeah, he's trying to hold up a couple of fingers, but he can't. He's only holding up one. It's the middle finger.
I mean, he was built last year, but in robot ears, he can drink if he wants to.
it's fantastic.
Did you know that? Yeah. That's a thing.
So here we have it, the age-old question. Who is a better superhero, Batman or Superman? The question is so big that they actually made a whole fucking movie about it. Batman versus Superman. For me, there's no fucking question. Batman is the better superhero.
Now, the argument against you is, I remember having this debate in college years ago, back before
Batman and Superman existed, we were talking about this.
back before Dark Knight came out, okay? And then nobody saw Batman Begins. Everyone was like...
I know. It didn't take off until the
Even though
Dark
that's
Knight.
a fantastic movie. So people were telling me, it's like, why do you like Batman so much? By the way, my pick aside, it's clearly Batman. It's very easy.
Oh, you're going to go with Batman too?
I'm going with Batman too. I love Batman. Batman's my favorite superhero of all time. Hands down.
It's a bold statement.
Oh, yeah. Not really. He's the most popular one.
Oh, he's kind of my favorite too.
Yeah. This is kind of easy. And the thing is like, why? He's just a rich kid with gadgets and he has money. And I'm like, yeah, but his parents died, makes him relatable. How do you relate to Superman? That's the problem I have with Superman.
Yeah, I mean, do you throw trucks across the street? And you're like, man, I can do that too. That's awesome. High five, bro.
I mean, Superman to me is kind of like a guy who, say you were playing, you're playing basketball, okay? You're fine and you're like, okay, you're whatever. And then you go, hey, I'm going to go play with a bunch of 5-year-olds and just destroy them. That's like Superman to Earth.
I'm going to go to an Easter egg hunt and just collect all the eggs.
Exactly.
And throw all the kids into a wood chipper.
That's
Done.
that's the power difference between...
Did I mention the wood chipper's in another state?
That's like...
That's what he does.
That's like the power difference between Superman and everybody down here. It's like kryptonite. That's his weakness.
I'm like,
who cares?
Where do you find kryptonite on this planet? Like, do they sell it at 7-Eleven?
I mean, who cares? That's what I'm saying. It's like, wow, that's pretty convenient.
That's my biggest grievance, and I think that the unanimous rules in this that Batman is the better superhero simply because they made Superman too powerful.
Oh, he's
too powerful. Nothing can stop him except this weird substance from another planet.
And as far as like characters go, I mean, I don't like. He seemed to have a nice little life, raised up on a farm. Batman, hey, you're walking down the street, the parents died, and it's kind of your fault.
Somebody shot both your parents in the face, and now you just have to live with your weird butler.
Yeah.
And
then you live in the most dangerous city in the world, okay? Where, by the way, they have the best villains in Batman. The most insane villains.
They do. Yeah,
the best
it's just the greatest.
Joker is the best villain in all of comic book history. Hands down. Hands down. I'm sorry. I know we have some Superman fans out there, but I just
do we have Superman fans out there?
I know a guy.
I got a guy.
I know he's a huge Superman fan, and I just don't. And that's fine. I mean, it's very
what does he love
hero.
about Superman? What is it that he loves about
it? Just the fact that the stakes.
What, the fact that he can fly?
The stakes,
cool.
It's like the stakes aren't really that high because you know he's going to win.
Sure.
But Batman, you're going, how the hell is he going to get out of this?
Batclaw.
Yeah.
Done deal.
I don't know. It's a very simple thing. You got anything to add with that? I mean, it's. I know it's a quick one, but
it's just something that's
too obvious.
It's something that I don't think needed a 2.5-hour movie. We'll just clear it up right now.
Yeah.
Who's the better superhero? Batman.
Yeah, he's cooler. You always want to see Batman.
So
And what's funny is that like people were talking about this movie, they were going, so if the movie does well, it's because people are going to, oh, that's because Batman's in it, you know, shit like that. So
Right. Well, I mean,
maybe
it's already on track to do much better than Man of Steel.
maybe Superman just doesn't have the appeal to a mainstream audience as opposed to comic book people, you know?
Not in the
That's what I'm
movie,
just
not
wondering.
in the realm of the movies that we're used to now.
Yeah.
He works great. Like, you know how popular the Superman cartoon was?
Oh, yeah.
Like
It was a
way
good
back
cartoon,
when.
yeah. Good cartoon.
Great cartoon, right?
But the Batman one was better.
It works in
the animated series is better.
Right. But Superman works in that realm of the cartoon world. You know, he stayed in the comic books, he stayed in the comic form, and it works well. I think that's a better persona
In a
for
20-minute
Superman.
thing.
You know what I mean?
20-minute cartoon.
This
yeah.
whole like creating depth to the character,
It's hard.
and
It's hard to do.
for somebody like it's hard for a character like Superman because he's so indestructible.
And how do you identify with that? Like Batman
Right.
gets beaten down, Batman loses fights, Batman's had tragedy happen to him. I mean, he also has a lot of opportunities, but it's just he's a much deeper character.
Yeah, and I'll just put this out there. As far as the fight, like, this is why I'm just so at a loss for the movie, because if Batman and Superman really did get in a fight and Superman wanted to win, all he would have to do is flick him, and he would be off this planet.
He could.
It would just be gone. And I know you keep saying, like, well, this is, you know...
Wayne Tech has done some stuff.
Fancy suits and armor. I don't care.
Wayne Tech
I don't
has
care.
done stuff.
Superman has the power of 17 atomic bombs in his fist.
There was a weird recent comic where Joker somehow assumed some type of like toxin to make Superman evil, and they got into this fight with like Joker-fied Superman, and Batman still held his own.
Makes
got the
no
shit
sense.
beat out of him.
It's just
still held his
weird.
own. Anyways,
So that's what we have.
Get on- yeah.
Get on Bad Culture Crew, and you know, at Bad Culture Crew on Twitter. Tell us who you were for, Batman or Superman.
Steve, remember that movie Freddy Got Fingered?
I vaguely remember. It was so fucking long ago. It has some guy in it that had a show on MTV for a while.
Tom Green.
I remember. Yeah.
Let's make it weird.
Make it weird.
Fucking what? Make it weird.
I'm telling you, he's out of his fucking mind. This guy.
Was there a little German thing in there? Is he up Mother Russia?
I don't know. When he put in his application, he checked Caucasian, white, male.
I guess he
I
bled
don't
right
know.
in. He's not even white. He's a robot.
Works for me.
So literally, he does work for you. So here's the story. Tom Green, a help man arrested for failing to return a Freddy Got Fingered VHS from 2002. Tom Green is coming to the rescue for a man who's arrested for failing to return the VHS. James Myers of Concord, North Carolina, was put in handcuffs on Tuesday after police found an outstanding warrant for his arrest pertaining to an unreturned VHS rental from 2002. This, by the way, which website is this from? This is from People Magazine.
Wow, People Magazine picked this up? It must be really big.
Yeah, it's pretty popular. The warrant came to light when Myers was pulled over for driving with a broken taillight while on his way to drop his daughter off at school. The officer said, "I don't know how to tell you this, sir, but there's been a warrant out for your arrest from 2002. Apparently, when he rented the movie, Freddy Got Fingered and never returned it. I thought he was joking," Myers told the local TV
What an
station.
obscure movie to pick, too, if he was really joking.
I know. Myers was allowed to continue on his way to his daughter's school after he promised to turn himself in. Later in the day, when he returned to the station, he was placed in handcuffs, charged with failure to return rental property, which was a misdemeanor punishable by a fine up to $200. And there you go. And then
Wow. He's going to pay $200 for Freddy Got Fingered.
Tom Green weighed in. Bizarre situation. He was tweeting about it, going, "I can't believe this is real." And he told the New York Daily News that he'll pay the $200 for him and any other fines he comes through.
Now, let me
legalities.
tell you something. This story
It's crazy.
This story has instilled a lot of fear in me because I'm just thinking back to like 15 years ago. Did I return every movie I ever rented?
You better,
Because
man.
I'll tell you what, if I get pulled over one day and somebody says, "Excuse me, sir, we see that you never returned Austin Powers, the spy who shagged me back in 2001, I'm going to be like, "Oh, fuck."
I like how specific it was too. It's fantastic. Now, I guess it was a local like a mom and pop type.
It
VHS
sounded like a
rental
mom
place.
and pop VHS store, yeah, or rentals.
And what's funny
store.
is that the guy has never had any criminal history. None of that stuff has happened. He's had like a few traffic violations, like anybody would.
And I think the article does say that the store has been closed for well over 10 years now.
Long time. And
So I'm wondering how long they waited before they filed this like stolen property.
I think they followed it right
suit.
away, but they just, I guess nobody ever paid attention to it or something. He's been in court because getting custody over his daughter and, battling that
Sure.
nonsense, and no mention of it. Isn't that so weird? It's just weird.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
Freddie got fingered of all things.
They're
Like,
not looking up your, they're not looking up your record when you come to court for something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something that would ever come up. You know what I mean? So a broken tail light cost him a couple $100, some 6 hours in jail, and and just the shame that everybody now knows that he rented Freddie Got Fingered on VHS back in 2002.
I'm fine with it because we probably have to watch that at some point.
I have it on DVD.
Yeah, you own it?
Yes, I do.
Now, is that the movie where they hold up the sign saying like Toy Story 2 wasn't bad, and is this movie over yet? Like, remember that?
I don't remember
I
that at
believe
all.
they do. Something
I
like
haven't seen Freddie Got Fingered.
Torn is in it?
Yes, he is.
that. Okay.
I don't know. Like the premise of Freddie Got Fingered is so weird. He works at a cheese factory,
It's
a
something
cheese
with the,
sandwich factory.
Daddy, would you like some sausage? And
He's got the sausages hanging
I
from
think
the-
I saw the trailer to this when I went to go see Joe Dirt. I think
Okay.
that's what happened.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what
I remember seeing this in theaters. To
You
be
saw it in
quite honest, I
theaters?
did. Yes.
I saw it on TV.
So,
that's what
At least they can't get me for a stolen movie ticket.
I saw it on one of those like movie channels years ago. I was like, okay, I guess I'll watch this.
But what a bizarre movie and what a bizarre story. But that just goes to show you how progressive, because this isn't the only North Carolina story that's been in the news in the past week. If I can be, if I can speak freely here for a minute about this, the regression of, the human race in saying that we're allowed to openly discriminate against gays and transgender people in North Carolina.
Oh, that whole story. That's a big deal.
That whole thing. This has somehow overshadowed, that in news from North Carolina this week.
The reason why this has overshadowed that because
Freddie Got Fingered
this
has
is a pretty simple
overshadowed gay and lesbian discrimination in North Carolina this week.
because that one's a little more on the fence of certain things because there is a two sides. This one I was like, I don't see the two sides. Like, just dear God, this was 15 years ago. Nobody cares. The other one, I don't want to get too political. I want to keep it fun, but I do believe it's like there are some people that go, wow, how do you? I mean, it's a bridge we'll have to cross, and this is just part of that thing. Is like, how do you distinguish bathrooms, and what does that mean now? And that's what the whole thing's about.
Yeah,
bathrooms. But what's more interesting is that fact that associations like Disney and the NBA are going to withhold themselves out of that state for that position.
I would agree. I'd agree with them.
They're if Disney does anything, Disney's going to win.
Somebody might want to listen.
I am interested to see how that goes, and I'm interested to see what they're going to do coming forward because I know, and I'm not going to say I know people personally who have told me about this have said that they feel uncomfortable if a transgender comes into their, because they're like, a man is in here, a woman's in here. What does that mean?
You need to get over yourself.
There was a South Park episode about that. Remember that? Where they got the trans dolphin
So
thing?
I guess to sum it all up for this segment is there's two things that you don't want to do in North Carolina. Don't ever, if you're gay or lesbian or transgender, don't expect to use a public bathroom in North Carolina because it's not going to happen. And number two, don't rent Freddie Got Fingered from anywhere in North Carolina. Even if you have a subscription to Netflix, I'd be very hesitant to put that on your queue.
Yeah, but you might have to if it ever comes up in a bad culture, bad movie review.
You know what? I own it for some reason. So,
yeah, why do you own that?
But I own everything.
You're so weird. You
great, yeah.
own that?
Well, that could be a segment in
What are the special
itself.
features in Freddie Got Fingered?
I don't know if it has any special features. The special feature is it's got a movie on it.
Steve,
Very special.
what do you normally say?
Oh my God, is it really? Are we getting to that point already, huh?
Normally you sit there and say, Steve, Austin, end the show, right? That's what you say.
Austin, just go ahead and end the show.
I will end the show. It's, I want to talk about hamburgers. It's the last word.
The last word.
So, we all talk about Pawpaw, right? We since last week, there's been some developments in the Pawpaw story.
I'm not very familiar with the developments, so why don't you tell me?
I'll fill you in there, Steve. So Pawpaw, his grandkids hate him, don't want to go eat burgers with him. So everybody across the country and even all over the world was like, hey, You go see Papa when he gets a burger going.
Okay.
Nobody cared about George Lucas, by the way.
Well, that's too bad.
Nobody wanted to have noodles with George Lucas.
Yeah.
But people wanted to have
But he didn't
burgers
invite
with
anybody,
Papa.
though. George just wanted to be by
nobody
himself.
felt that he didn't- wait.
Him and Jar Jar just hanging out, having noodles at a food court.
George Lucas CGI'd all his friends to come over and hang out with him.
I agree with him.
So anyways, so Papa getting all this viral, picture and stuff, held a big barbecue where you could have a burger with Papa. They had t-shirts and you could meet him and you could have a burger. And people came from all over the world. So Papa feels happier now. His grandkids showed up to that because the internet was involved. Fucking grandkids.
Well, see, kids, they won't listen to anything until the internet gets involved these days.
So this had me interested because it's like, I wonder if people were prepared to go to, Papa's and have a burger. Like, did they know how to eat a burger? So as always, you know how I love the WikiHow, and I go there all the time.
Oh, that's a thing, huh? There's a thing on the internet called WikiHow.
It's called WikiHow.
Oh,
And
wow. Tell me about it.
And I was first curious about, hey, how to cook a burger, but no, I don't cook. But there is ways to eat a burger. So WikiHow has some things about eating a burger. So I brought some burgers to the show.
Oh, there's some burgers
There's
here?
some burgers over there. Let me, hold on a second.
Grab the burgers. I didn't know there were burgers here. I would have been eating them the whole time. That sounds
I
delicious.
just ran and gave you a plate. So here we got some burgers. Hold on, let me hold this here.
Hold the burgers.
I got my
and
plate.
Hold the plate. That's pretty
My
good.
headset back on.
Wow, are those McDonald's burgers?
They are McDonald's burgers. I'm
Wow,
not
those are
gonna
like the
show it.
best burgers.
Now, I did get you a Happy Meal because I know you liked it, but they didn't have the package.
I needed the toy.
So you get some fries with your burger.
Oh shit, really?
You do. Here you go. But I'm
All
gonna,
right.
I'm gonna steal a fry.
All right, steal a fry. Go ahead.
A little cold.
Let me grab this here. Okay, these are fucking freezing.
That's okay. But here's your burger.
All right, hold on.
All right. So we're gonna have these burgers. This is what we do. This is
Oh
entertainment.
my god, this
Yeah.
is
It's still
fucking
fine.
cold.
So fine. But you got your plate. You got your thing. Now, also because it is Burger King, McDonald's, and this and that, they had a Spy Kids Barbie thing going on.
Oh.
So I know this is for you.
I got a toy.
No, that's
Oh
for
my
you,
god.
because I know you're a big Barbie fan. After we talked about Barbie getting all fat and stuff.
This is Agent
Agent Barbie.
Agent
Spy Barbie.
Terrorist.
So what it comes in? Oh, Agent Terrorist. No, she has a little stats on her.
Agent Terrorist. Yes,
Should we put her up next here, so everybody can see your toys?
I will. I'll open this toy and I'll just put it on
That's for you.
put it on the thing.
Okay.
Anyway,
now-
continue.
So we're gonna eat this burger, but we're going to let's see. Let's get this toy out.
We're gonna wiki how.
We're gonna wiki how to.
Oh
eat
my
this
god,
burger.
her hair feels so real.
Ooh, we'll bring that over here. Let's
beautiful.
See. So which she
I have
has-
no idea how to stand her up though. Like she's probably gonna fall over.
Let me see. Oh,
Oh,
god damn
bitch!
it! What is her name?
It's Agent Tara.
Agent Tara. She has
Agent
purple
Tiara.
hair. All right. Well, we'll lean her up against this Freddy.
She's
movie.
dressed like a hua.
She's like, look at her. She's kind of like.
All right,
She's like displaying
hold
it.
on.
She's displaying this like Vanna White.
All right, so I'm opening my hamburger. Here it is. Okay, I've got it.
Okay. So we're gonna. Okay. Her other arm won't go down,
Okay, perfect.
so she can only display. Hold on.
You got it?
Now she's displaying it like Vanna White.
Okay,
Now
great.
what you do when you throw garbage away? You throw it at cameras. Okay.
Great.
Now let's just read these instructions about how to eat this burger.
All right, here there are steps. Wiki
steps,
how
okay.
to eat a burger.
So I'll go through these for you. Okay. How to eat a burger. Believe it or not, it is possible to enjoy that juicy hamburger or cheeseburger without looking like a complete slob.
well, not for me. There's
instructions.
not.
Well, there is hope yet again. Savoring it without making a mess while eating with the effortless suavity, which is a word, by the way.
Suavity.
Suavity. A
right.
seasoned veteran is your task. Are you ready to accept it?
I'm doing it.
I'm ready.
I'm eating these fries.
Yeah. Cut it up is the first one. Instead of trying to take a bite out of burger is a big hole, so don't take the whole burger, Steve, and jam it in your mouth like this. Okay, you don't want to do that.
Come on, I want to.
Don't choke on this burger. Don't choke
So
a
I
burger.
wanna
I know
do
you like
this.
choking on dicks, but not burgers, okay?
All right, so
You can't do that.
All right, so I have to cut it up.
You might want to cut it up, but we don't have any forks or knives.
Do
so
I
that's
need
a
some
problem.
scissors?
No, you would need
Oh.
halves or even quarters, Steve. So this might be too big for your small little mouth.
It is. I have a very tiny mouth and a very shallow throat.
Yes. A lot of gay men would be interested.
Everybody
in that.
would know that.
You won't get that condiment smile where the ketchup mustard is smothered all over your cheeks. I don't know if it's your cheeks on your face or your butt cheeks.
I think it's because I jam a lot of hamburgers up my ass.
So if we don't have the forks and knives, there's other options, just to let you know.
Okay.
Option 2. And then we go steps here. Hold it correctly.
How do you hold it?
Well,
how do you do it?
I usually hold hamburgers like this.
I put it on my head like this sometimes.
Now, I specifically said, here's another step that's not in here. I specifically said ketchup only. But McDonald's, there's a sneak pickle in here.
Oh, there's a sneak pickle.
I specifically said, did you
Cocksuckers.
get a pickle in yours?
I did not. Mine's clean of all picklage.
I told them, you know,
I don't know how they're in the same order and they got one right and the other one wrong.
I said both of them ketchup only.
Well, they got the fries right.
Yeah,
They're
they did.
cold.
There's no pickles in there? Okay. Hold it correctly. Grab the burger with both hands. Both hands, Steve.
I've got it.
Okay.
Look at that.
Got that. Now I have to put it down because I can't hold it because I have to read it. Now, a one-handed cool look. Look at how cool I look. Look at this. Look at it. That's so cool. Look at how cool
That's
you look.
sweet.
Let me see this.
I'm awesome.
I'm looking pretty dope
I'm
right
really
now.
awesome holding my burger.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Cool look is when you get into trouble. So that was a bad move. Don't do that. You
Oh,
get
I'm not
into trouble.
supposed to do
No,
that?
You're not supposed to do it.
I thought that was the two choices you had.
No. You have to hold it with both hands, but the one-handed cool look is when you get into trouble. Okay.
Well, what the fuck?
However, it is helpful if you're eating in the vehicle on the go. But if you're on the go, so if you're driving in your car,
Really not supposed to be driving while you're eating and driving?
hold it with one hand because you have to drive with one hand on the wheel. Otherwise, you'd be driving with your legs.
I drive with my dick.
The best option is to have some sort of napkin, waxed paper, or wrapper, and wrap it around the lower portion of the burger. Ah, see, this is the move. Okay.
Oh my god, I would have never fucking thought of
Wait a
this in a
minute.
million years. Are you kidding me?
This is
Oh my god,
mind-blowing.
now my hands are getting dirty.
What is going on?
How is this a thing?
What? This napkin will prevent the juices and condiments from leaking out of the bottom of the sandwich. Wow.
Fucking hell,
Look at-
somebody's a genius.
Look at it. All these juices are just now in the napkin. All right, that's good.
I feel bad for the napkin.
Now here's something.
What do we got?
All right. Jesus. Do not squeeze it too hard.
You mean like this? Don't squeeze it.
Do not squeeze it too hard.
I got ketchup on my fucking hand.
If you do that, that is when the juices start to get all over you. See?
Yeah, I got
All
I
right.
got it.
Did
I got
you
it
get
on
it
my
on your hand?
Yeah, I got some ketchup on my
You
hands.
got your napkins, though.
I do. I have my
Okay.
napkins and I have these.
Great.
Here, I'm just gonna use these fries.
Okay, good. Yeah, you use your. This is not looking like a slob at all.
I am a disgusting slob.
If you hold your burger correctly, you'll prevent any grease droppings from leaking out, and the condiments won't squish into your clothes. Luckily, it hasn't reached your clothes yet.
Hasn't reached my shirt.
Yeah.
I can't say the same for my pants.
Now, here's something you're not doing. Here's a tip:
Go.
chew with your mouth closed.
I am eating.
I'm gonna eat
With
this
my
burger
mouth
with the one hand
open.
with the napkin, because that's how you gotta do it.
Wow, you just bit right into that bitch, huh?
I was hungry.
All right,
I haven't had dinner yet.
I'm gonna hold the napkin like this.
Are you squeezing too hard?
I feel like I'm applying appropriate pressure.
I like the both-handed technique.
I'm gonna use two hands.
You're not like full of yourself doing the cool look.
Not a.
That's a good bite. Okay.
I have a solid bite right there.
Now keep the mouth closed though.
Oh,
Nobody
shit.
wants to see the chewed up hamburger working its way around the mouth.
All right. Well, I'm already failing.
Display us what you shouldn't do. Like this. Like don't do that. Okay?
People say it's rude to talk with your mouth open.
And that's number 5. Don't talk with your mouth full. For the same reason above, this is a no-no.
Shit.
What'd you do?
Well,
Put ketchup all over your computer?
no, I talked with my mouth full.
Oh, man. Good thing we have this WikiHow to guide us through.
Well, so I guess the most surprising part about this one is the fact that there's 5 fucking steps to eating a hamburger.
Yes, and there's really 4, but if you cut it up, then it's different, you see. Then you use a fork and knife like you're hot shit. Now, I should go over these final tips here.
Yeah, tell me some final tips.
Don't be afraid of getting a little messy, which is completely contrary to
that
everything.
just negates everything that we just talked about.
Yep. Anyone who knows a burger knows how messy you can get as long as you make an effort. You gotta look like you're trying. You can't just mail in eating a hamburger. Okay.
I'm trying not to, but it's just so. I took one bite. It's so filling. I'm so full.
You're not full. You could eat 6. How many burgers did you take down?
Was I supposed to eat the napkin too?
I don't know. It didn't
WikiHow
say.
doesn't say. It just says to wrap it around it, but doesn't say that I'm supposed to eat around it.
I don't know. I guess you're just.
All right, I've got a
the whole thing.
discrepancy here then.
Oh, well, here's some napkin tips. Let's see if we can find.
Go for it.
Have napkins on hand. Well, we did that. Good. Good. We got the napkins.
I've got it in my hand.
I don't know if paper towels are okay. I don't know if that's just like a fake napkin. You know,
This is weird.
especially in a non-fast food burger
I'm
places,
eating the napkin.
burger juices might run into your hands. That's okay. The juices are a sign of a well-made burger. Okay.
I don't know what else to do.
Eating with you're breaking rule 5. If you eat on the run often, so when you're out on your daily run eating, consider leaving napkins, paper plates, plastic knives, or forks in your glove compartment because you're running with your glove compartment that you broke into.
I jog while replenishing my calories at the same time.
Oh boy, so good. If a burger contents keep drooping on the back,
Drooping. I like that.
try sticking a toothpick because you need to have this handy, or 2 through the burger to keep it in place. Just remember to take the toothpicks out before you eat the area.
All right, so you do You do not eat the toothpicks.
Don't eat the toothpick.
But you do eat the napkin.
It looks like.
All right. Well, I'm okay with that.
Here's a tip. Always chew. If you don't chew, you might choke, which could become a very dangerous.
I was really just trying to swallow the burger whole a minute ago.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm really glad that you told me that to prevent me from choking. So that's good.
Always. Most importantly, okay. Yeah, there's
Most
three
importantly,
more.
there's a most importantly one.
Ignore all annoying insults or name calling by friends for the content or size of your burger.
Oh.
It is your meal. You have a right and freedom to consume whatever type and size of meal you wish to. It's important to ignore funny comments, which could result in laughter while eating. Which
then
can
you end up
cause you
choking.
to spew food, and that's never good. Here's a tip. Enjoy your burger. You enjoying it?
It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Wear clothing appropriate, okay?
So I need to pick out an outfit prior to eating said burger.
Don't bring condiments in your purse or wallet. Don't bring them in your purse
I put them in my wallet.
or wallet because they could explode and create a bigger mess for you.
That's why I always have a red stain on the back of my pants.
Just enjoy your burger the way you want it. Doesn't have to be perfect. And
Just like Burger King.
do not consume your delicious burger too fast. This may cause a tummy ache, and things you'll need. Here's the things you need.
What am I gonna need?
And then we're done with this thing. Napkins, forks,
Got plenty of those.
knives,
No forks, no knives.
Plate.
I can't eat this.
burger, plus a table or other eating area.
My lap.
And here's the key one.
Go.
Any other optional materials.
All right, so I put a piece of glass in to my burger.
Anything you want. It's optional.
Right.
If it's a material, you can use it.
That's great.
This is a very handy, let me get my napkin. This is a very handy, well thought out WikiHow that I thought I'd share with you because I know a lot of folks out there struggling with eating their hamburgers.
Well, all of the grandkids at Peepaw's, they didn't read this before they went. That's why nobody came.
They're brushing up on their skills.
Nobody showed up. They were like, well, Peepaw, our
It's
Pawpaw.
Pawpaw, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how to eat a burger, so I'm not going to come.
Yeah, it is a very confusing
And then as soon as he found out that, as soon as the grandkids found out that hundreds of people were showing up, they were like, oh shit, time to turn to the internet like everybody else did, figure out how I'm going to survive this barbecue. How to eat a burger. Pretty appropriate.
This is pretty good. This is a pretty good show. I really enjoyed it, Steve.
Wasn't that bad.
We had a burger. We got to play with toys. We got a movie up here. But we should talk about what we're doing next
Great.
week. What do you think?
Are we doing something next week?
We are. We're going to
there's
get
a
back.
show?
We're going to get back. We're going to sit down. We're going to talk. We're going to put the cameras up. Maybe it'll go up in the YouTubes. Who knows? So anyways, next week is going to be Steve's Back in the Day. He's going to be talking about Video Power, a show I've never heard of.
So excited to talk about Video Power. So if you haven't seen that, go to YouTube, search for Video Power. Very great video game theme show from 1991.
And in 1 month, I will be. Let me move the bitch over here.
Oh my God! Don't touch
Sorry, I did.
Agent Agent Terra.
Hey, Agent Terra. What's going on?
In 1 month, you'll be what?
Oh, okay. Well, hold on.
Pretty good.
All right. So anyways, I'm going to be watching the Friday the 13th 11 movies
11
right here.
films.
In this wonderful box set. And I'm going to be watching them and I'll tell you what I think about it. And what else? Is there any more to that challenge? Should I
think that's all for the show.
Oh, that is all for the show. So anyways, those are the things that are coming up. Make sure you go to Bad Culture Crew Productions.com. Always follow us at Bad Culture Crew, at Austin DNLS, and at Bad Culture Steve. There is plenty of things going on here. It's always terrible here at Bad Culture Crew. We're going to keep things terrible as the Bad Culture Crew rolls on.
Thank you for listening to Bad Culture Crew. We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to check your feed every Thursday for a new episode. Be sure to stay connected with the crew on social media with at Bad Culture Crew on Twitter, the Bad Culture Crew Facebook page, and of course on badculturecrewproductions.com. We are pleased to bring you the best of the worst. Because at Bad Culture Crew, we find the terrible so you don't have to.